Sean McCartney. Kaboli was talking about how the Steelers won't or shouldn't draft a center in the first.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact is we need a center to start day one. Unless we can guarantee getting Frazier in the second, I'm taking Powers at 20.
Yeah, Sean. So what you're saying is absolutely right. But what Kabali is saying is just the thought process or the philosophy behind free agency versus draft versus players versus what costs more and what is easier to acquire. So the thought process when you're talking to like GMs or analysts, they believe that it's smarter to pay for a free agent center, or it's smarter to get one of them dudes, later on in the draft versus invest in a first round pick in those guys because of the ability to, number one, get them in free agency for a cheaper amount than, say, a free agent left tackle that's a proven starter, or a free agent quarterback that's a proven starter, or a free agent corner that's a proven starter. So you're like, man, you want to get them spots in the first round so you can control that labor and keep that cost down for 5 years. Whereas center, guard, it's like inside linebacker. You know what I mean? It's like interior D line. It's like you kind of get away with those spots. They're not as critical as your left tackle. You can be okay at center and have a dog left tackle, and we're going to feel great. If you got a okay left tackle and a dog center, it can get real iffy out there just because of the way that the game is played and the way that you're able to attack off the edges and stuff like that. So that's, what Kabul is kind of like referencing, and that is a true thought process. But until the Steelers at least check off this center need in free agency, you, me, Deke, we all kind of got the same mindset. You have to go center. Otherwise, you're going to put yourself in a bad situation, or potentially put yourself in a bad situation.
Yeah, and I get why Omar and the Steelers don't want to be in that spot come draft time. You want to have options. You want to have flexibility. But depending on what guy you get, you still might not have any options. From the outside looking in, it may look like, we don't have to draft center. But the people that are following, like if you brought in Mason Cole back, it's like, bro, we still got to draft the center in these first 2 rounds.
Yeah,
we still got to do that. From the outside looking in, though, maybe other teams are thinking, okay, maybe they don't have to get center.
Yeah. But I could also see a scenario where the Steelers say, we're going to bring in Mason Cole, 1-year deal. We're not going to draft a center this year, and it would just spin a block next year and go and try to find a better option, whether it's in free agency or in the draft. Because what's the difference between the Russell Wilson and Justin Fields scenario? Those are both 1-year deals, and we're going to see what they do this year, and then we're going to make a decision on who we want to commit to long-term, or we're going to reset and go to the draft. So they could take that same approach.
I'm not feeling great about that.
But what's the difference to you, though, between the quarterback scenario with them being on 1 years and us bringing back Mason Cole in a similar concept on a 1 year, that maybe that allows us to bring in a wide receiver in that first, or maybe that allows us to bring in a corner in that first, you know what I mean, or something different, or a right tackle in that first.
I just think Russ and Fields are better options at their respective positions than Mason Cole for this year.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like that's I'm feeling great about Russ as our starter
we're
at
saying
quarterback.
In comparison though to what we currently have, because the conversation is Jackson Powers Johnson, right? So if you don't get that one, now you're looking at Graham Barton. If you don't get that one, Zach Frazier. If you don't get that one, those are the three.
Too now.
Well, no. Those are the 3 names. It's pick your poison. I'm with you, bro. But my thing is, it's like those are 3 names, and all 3 of them are projected to go top 50. So you're playing with fire as is coming into this day. That's the part where I'm saying if you playing with fire like that, is Mason Cole just as good of an alternative option if you don't get one of these 3? If you want to go in the front and say, bro, I don't want to play this game if I have to get one of these 3, let me go ahead and just bring Mason back. And if it falls, great. But if not, I'm not dead in the water. Because right now, if we don't get one of them in the top 50,
you're just talking about as him being an insurance policy, just in general. But I think, again, Russell Wilson at quarterback, I'm feeling much better about than Mason Cole as the starting center.
I'm all for all that, bro. I just remember how you felt when 7 had Kendrick Green at center.
Yeah, it was terrible.
How do you get to that, though? When you play games and you got to bake it on the draft.
Mason Cole, let's get another center. I don't know if Mason Cole is the best example right now.
So, once again,
who
is the name? If you can tell me the name, we've done the list. That's why we settled on Mason Cole, because we both have looked at the names. You've said the same names that I've said, and we both said the same things. You're like, well, which one of them you like? I don't know which one of them you like. I don't know which one of them you want to go with. I don't know which one of them you want to go with. I don't know. So that's where we at. It's like, you can trade for this one. We could go into this draft and we say, we got to get one of them, or we looking to retread.
Okay, so I know I've made a lot of takes before. I mean, we do a podcast and we talk football a lot, so there's a lot of my takes that are out there. I'm willing to bet that one of these three centers that we talked about is going to be better than Kendrick Green rookie year. I will bet that. I will take my chances with that.
Bro. I am with you, bro. They're all true centers, though. That's not. Oh, never mind. Graham Barton. He's the. But Graham Barton he's more of a center than Kendrick Green was.
I'll take my chances with them over Kendrick Green.
I love it.
I don't think we're gonna get to that scenario.
I love it.
It can't get worse.
I'm with you, bro.
I've said that before, but it has.
You've definitely said that before.
But no, I think this is a really true statement this time. It can't get worse than Kendrick Green here.
It can't.
It can't.
Not with those three. Van Pran, you taking that same energy?
Well, I don't know. I don't know about him. I'm not feeling great about him.
I'm like, yo, all right, because it's a slippery slope.
Great.
After them first three, I'm like, I'm with you on them three, but I'm like, when you get to Van Pran, I'm like, that ain't no guarantee that that's just, yeah.
Van Pran's the type of pick that you make if you sign a center here. When you have them duke it out this offseason. I'm still not feeling great about it. It depends on what center you sign with. But, if you sign a good one, you're probably not drafting a center.
You're not right, yeah.
No need to do that. You just rock with Spencer Anderson as your backup, yeah. Oh, well. Something's got to give here for these next few weeks.
Seriously. But we do know that Omar and the Steelers want to at least check off that box before the draft.
Well, you've said that before.
They want to.
They want to have 22 starters in place before the draft.
This ain't my words. This is them. This is how they talk. This is they talk. I regurgitate what I've heard from them. Okay, I don't make that up. I had never heard that today. He was like, yo, that's the mom. I'm like, oh, that makes sense then. I was like, all right, I see why you do what you do then. And then why also, as a free agent, you could still be like, well, dang, if you sign me, why did you still go draft that? Because it makes sense what they're trying to do. They're like, I want to still feel like I got a starter at all these spots. So even though Deshaun Elliott, even though we brought you in here, man, I still might go draft the safety. But I still feel like you could start, though. Hey, Landon Roberts, you still in the contract, right? We still feel good about you as a starter. But I still could go draft something that I think, man, could push you and maybe starts over you. Dante Jackson, yes, you could start. You started in this league. Is that still keeping us from going out here and drafting a corner? Absolutely not.
Yeah, if we traded for Justin Fields after having Russ here, I think everything's on the table at this point.